We're all familiar with the spade map tile that appears on world maps in Super Mario Bros. 3. It leads to the roulette game that you almost always frustratingly lose. And then there's the end spade object that appears on the map and leads to the card matching memory game. Typical level tiles each have 4 bytes assigned to them. 2 sets of 2 byte wide addresses. One of these addresses points to the level geometry data, and the other address points to sprite object placement data. However, the spade map tile is coded to use these bytes differently. The first byte is the bonus game mode. This is always a 1, which is the roulette game. For reference, mode 2 is the card matching game. And yes, you can assign a map tile to go to that one as well. The second byte actually specifies different room layouts. Layout 0 is the usual table layout, and the only one used in the final game. Layout 1 removes the table. Layout 2 puts some kind of mysterious blue box in the center of the room. Unfortunately, due to the corrupted graphics, we may never know what it was supposed to be. Finally, Layout 3 and 4, which lead to completely empty rooms. Probably placeholders. The third byte specifies a different game host. Host 0 is, of course, Toad. Due to a programming bug, Host 1 initially appears glitched. His sprite draw routine is off by 16 graphic tiles. So with a quick fix, we can see that the host was intended to be a Koopa Troopa with some kind of a glitched box. And Host 2 is the Koopa Troopa just by himself. Host 3, like Host 2, initially appears glitched. His sprite draw routine is also off by 16. And there you have it, a Hammer Bro. The final byte specifies what sprite would appear on top of Host 1 Koopa Troopa's box. We'll come back to that later. Whichever character is hosting the bonus game doesn't really affect anything. You could have a Koopa Troopa run the roulette, or Hammer Bro run the card matching game. There's no unique dialogue programmed or changes to the games themselves. So far, we've noted that Bonus Mode 1 is the roulette game, and Bonus Mode 2 is the card game. However, the bonus game engine actually specifies a total of 8 different types. For the most part, the unused modes are largely not implemented. However, that doesn't mean there aren't interesting things to be found. Bonus Game Mode 0 is perhaps the most interesting and functional of the lost bonus games. First, obviously the text is gibberish, which is actually because this is untranslated Japanese, which the international versions do not support. As for that strange glitch sprite in the middle, it's actually supposed to be a die. Unfortunately, whatever graphics it was supposed to be using are just not in the game at all. However, using graphics put together by BMF 54123, we can get an idea of what it was originally supposed to look like. I do not know Japanese, so I will be using the translations that are featured on TCRF as credited to GlitterBerri. The instructions appear to be: roll a 1 to get 1. Roll a 2 to get a key. Roll any other number to get coins. Pressing the A button will stop the die. If you roll a 1, your lives go up by 1. And it is possible the initial direction was supposed to be that if you rolled a 1, you got a 1 up. Rolling a 2 adds 1 to a byte at a location that is just overwritten after exiting. Any other roll, which results in an appropriate coin confetti, adds to your score based on the face value. Bonus Game Mode 1 is used for the roulette game. However, there is code that suggests that the roulette was originally supposed to be Mode 5, but we'll get to that later. Bonus Game Mode 2 is used for the card game. Once again, there's evidence that this was originally supposed to be Mode 6. Mode 3 was clearly never even started. It mimics Mode 0, and the obvious placeholder text doesn't even suggest what might have gone here. Mode 4 is just like Mode 3. It has placeholder text and acts like Mode 0. However, when you exit the bonus game, an otherwise unused RAM value is set to 1. While this value is not used by the game at all, it is close to other values used by the world map. So it is possible this was originally some kind of world map trigger. Mode 5 was apparently the original home of the roulette game, as evidenced by these Japanese instructions. Roll an odd number and I'll let you play the roulette game. If you roll an even number, the game is over. But if you roll an odd number, then you get new text that says you get 3 tries. While the roulette game normally only gives you 1 chance, code exists to allow you to have more than 1 try. And with a minor code change, we can restore the original 3 attempts. Bonus Mode 6 was apparently the original home of the card game, as, once again, evidenced by Japanese instructions. Roll an even number and I'll let you play the card game. If you roll an even number, you have 2 chances. Try to find a pair of matching cards. Finally, Mode 7, perhaps the most mysterious left over. We have an idea what this may have looked like. BMF's graphics show this as a mushroom, flower, star, or cloud. The instructions are of no help, as they only display a very vague message, something like to back or to return. The bonus game is just imitating Mode 0, so the actual intended gameplay is unknown. However, depending on what was sitting on Koopa Troopa's box, you will be sent to one of 4 possible locations on the world map. We cannot say what world this was intended for, nor if this was a bonus, a shortcut, a trap. We may never know what the intention was, but it does suggest that the world map may have once been imagined as something far more dynamic.